what exactly did you get to say before the men with guns escorted you out?
Let's see. I have it on Word here. Okay, let's see. I started off with saying, who is entrusted with the recordings of these negotiations? Judge Wishman said, what negotiations? There are no negotiations here. He said it, with a real bad attitude and all that. All the while, he didn't answer my question. At this point, I knew he was very biased, and I knew he wouldn't let me proceed for long because he was, pretty agitated. Because of this, I went to the next line in the script. He said, are you recording these negotiations? Judge Wisman, in an angry voice with his arms waving up and down, said, what negotiations? There are no negotiations here. I then asked again, are you recording these negotiations? Judge Wisman said, yes, this is being recorded. I said, I am the beneficiary, Richard Dean Brooks, equity interest title holder in due course, as the letter of transfer received indicates. As such, I move that this matter be abated immediately, unless you have a method more beneficial to the trust and me, the beneficiary. And while I was talking, Judge Wisman was interrupting me with questions and menacing attitude, and I would have to pause and wait till he was pretty quiet and then continue. He said, I see what is going on here. There is no trust. You are the beneficiary. The beneficiary of what? I said, am I to understand you are refusing to fulfill the obligation as trustee in this matter? Judge Wisman then said, yes, I refuse. I am not the trustee. I then said, let the record reflect that Judge Wiseman, because I didn't know how to say his name, and at that point he interrupted me to correct me on the pronunciation of his name. And he says, it's Wisman, not Wiseman. If you're going to say it right. It's Wisman. And he was just yelling. While he was saying it, he was waving his arms up and down and yelling in an angry voice. I said, let the record reflect Judge Wisman is refusing to fulfill the obligation as trustee in this matter. Now, sir, are you ready to abate this matter as trustee? And then Judge Wisman, while looking at his computer screen, then said,
what caused the judge, to start screaming?
I was reading from a script that my friends and I had made up.
Okay. And it sounds to me like you're going off of a premise that the judge is acting as a trustee.
That's what the idea was, right?
Yeah, see, I want to just take a point, to show that this has nothing to do with trusteeship, and there is no state, there is no government. They're just a gang of killers, thieves, and liars. Their premise that they're going on is that they are a government and not just a gang of killers, thieves, and liars. He's not a judge. He's just some lawyer pretending to be. He's just putting on an act. There is no trust. There never has been a trust. For there to be a trust, there'd have to be some kind of freely given agreement, and all this is done by violence. So, I think what may have contributed to him getting so upset and screaming, which is not excusable at all, but you are dealing with a psychopath, so it's really not out of the question that a psychopath would start screaming at you, is that he's probably heard this kind of stuff before, and just his tolerance level just wasn't very high that day.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the outcome after you were removed from the court?
I was taken downtown because I had a driving while suspended since before I'd went to court, and so he put me on $5,000 bail, and I was booked, and then my niece had my debit card. She bailed me out. Good Lord! How much was the bail on this? $5,000, so I had to put up $500.
And this was on what charge again?
A DUI.
Yeah, you see everybody.
Right.
I tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. The easiest way to avoid a DUI, man, don't drink. Your liver will thank you for it. And when you got a DUI, you got a really tough road to hoe because you did go out and do something to put people's lives in danger, including your own. So it's a lot more difficult to get that through. I'd say that when the easiest thing, it's still something that you could do is go in and ask a few questions if it goes to trial and you wanted to go to trial and you can't stop it, is to be able to impeach the police officer as far as presence within the state and things like that. But I would stay clear away from this trustee stuff. Obviously, it's not effective. And I know there may be times where things get thrown out because the judge just isn't in the mood. But I really don't think someone's going to get a DUI thrown out because the judge isn't in the mood to hear this stuff. It's a parking ticket, yeah, other things minor, but not on a DUI. That's not something they're going to let go too easy. I would suggest you abandon that stuff and look at something that's more rational and something that you can prove and something that's got more of a track record, something that you can actually rationally explain. We talk about a lot of that stuff on the show. You're challenging jurisdiction. You're challenging whether there's a case or not. You're challenging presence within the state. You're challenging the competency and credibility of the witness. These things are a lot more effective, especially with what you're up against.
Right. The challenging of the jurisdiction would probably be my best.
Actually, the most effective here is, I believe, is that if it goes to trials, that you're going to be challenging the competency and credibility of the police officer. Now, I've been able to impeach every police officer or witness they brought against me, and many other people have been able to replicate that. But you're not going to do it by asking questions like you were bringing up about, trusteeship and negotiation. They're not negotiating with you other than you pay or you die. That's their negotiation. It's like with taxes. You pay or we shoot you and we take all your stuff. So, but you can contact me off air for more information. And you can also, like I mentioned, Calvin does a wonderful job of putting in the forum a list of the show topics. You can go.
I just did buy all the stuff and I just ordered a 1-hour consultation.
All right, well then let's get that set up as soon, for let's say Monday or Tuesday, and get this thing taken care of. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate the call, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
You bet. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Wow. Okay.